Hello guys, it's Luke for the Free Almonds here. Welcome to All the Gear, No Idea, the show that I do on weekends where you control the topics, you control the questions, and you control where the show goes. I've got the computer, I've got the internet. If you've not subscribed to it already, please do. But let's get on with the show. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Hello guys, I'm back. I haven't been well. A couple of weeks, not felt too great. Paul's been really busy as well, obviously Christmas period. We are back. We're back now. And he said he might do a show later as well, so he might get 2 shows or might just get this one. I thought I'd come on, have a little chat, talk West Ham. Who we got in the chat? Andy, hello mate, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, mate. My missus ain't too great in a minute as well. It's just sort of going around, and it's I don't think it's COVID as such, but I think just a little bit of the flu bug going around, just not too great. Yeah, feel a lot better now. So what's been going on West Ham world? I'll give my reactions a little bit to the Chelsea game. It was frustrating, wasn't it? For spells in that game we were fantastic. So universal for all the West Ham channels and stuff. From goal to goal, like their first goal to their second goal, we were the better team, and we had some really, really good play in that game. We worked really, really hard in that game, but just it wasn't enough, and it was just one of those really frustrating games. I think we could have played for 5 or 6 hours, and we still wouldn't have got a goal. There was some good performances in there as well, but there was also some lackluster performances. I've got to say, with the Hollah stuff, I'm with Nikki from West Ham Fan TV. Actually, I even put a comment on the post-match point because I thought what Nikki said about Hollah. Me too. I've had enough of him now. Yes, okay, he scores these lovely bicycle kicks, and all that. He just doesn't do enough for me. Fed up with the constant excuse of he doesn't get the supply. At some point if you're not getting the supply, striker will turn it on and try and make their own sort of chances. He's not a Drogba, but even like an Antonio, he makes his own chances. Even Giroud, makes his own chances. It's becoming very, very frustrating with him. Fornals, I don't know. He works hard, but again lacks that little bit of quality sometimes. I think Rice was excellent. I think Sofal was a fantastic buy for 5 million at right back. I think it was all wrong from the start of that game. I know we're talking about it for sort of 3-4 days now. Mark Noble shouldn't have started that game. So Benrahma should have been in there all day. To try and create a bit of magic. I think if Lanzini would have been fit, Lanzini would have started. Just really, really frustrating. I'll answer any comments, any questions, mate. Let me know. I agree, mate. At Antonio, we would have scored more. I think I agree, mate. And I'd like to see him come in. Think is it Brighton the weekend? I think it's Brighton's the first game. Sorry, again, I always do it. I'm on unprepared. I just do it off the cuff. Yeah, so Brighton's the first game on Sunday after Boxing Day, and then you got Southampton. Southampton's a tough game. It really, really is a tough game. That is. Side they've got some players I really like there as well. But yeah, the Brighton game is a game we should be looking at, thinking, okay, it's a game we should go to win. So for me, that's the game that Antonio would come in. Where the Southampton game's a bit of a dodge game, where wouldn't be too fussed, if we were to sort of lose that one, because they are in such good form. Looking at Brighton, they've got Mopai, McAllister, who are good players. They're currently sitting in, currently sitting 17th. So they need wins, because otherwise you can easily get dragged away. And if they were to beat us and Arsenal were to lose, I'll tell you what, Arsenal will be in serious, serious trouble if they don't win their next 2 games. They really, really will. I like Trossard from Brighton as well. It's a game that we should be looking to win, and hopefully, like I say, Antonio will be fit and going for that game. Let's go back to the comments. Long Day says the old West Ham, no cutting edge. Yeah, definitely, mate. There was a bit of that this weekend. On Monday. Andy Miles says he doesn't bring anyone else into play. No one even runs off him. True. Mark says pay too much for Hollah, kind of like those expensive pair of jeans you bought and then you realise after one wash you don't wear them, but you feel like you have to. Yeah, especially with black jeans as well. Whenever I get a pair of black jeans, you put them in the wash one time, it's like, for God's sake, black and navy, innit? Black and navy. Whenever you buy black and navy, they fade so quick. Just so frustrating. Yeah, so the goals, yeah, we know, Thiago Silva, just, for some reason, Cohen was marking him and got away from him. Their other goal, obviously, deflected when it's sort of a poor shot, and then Tammy Abraham's putting in the last goal at the Man United game. Our heads went, and just we couldn't recover from that point. I think the Bowen one was harshly ruled out. I think that should have been allowed to go in, then go to VAR, so they could have seen that it was a genuine goal. I think that changes the game as well. We don't get them decisions. Does anyone know, have we had a penalty this year? I was trying to think. I can't remember us getting a penalty this year. Must be the only team in the Prem to not get a pen. Let me know. I can't remember whether we've had a pen this year or not. If the beast is not fit, I would play Yama up front. Plays up front for the. Yeah, I would agree with that, mate. I think it's worth changing it a bit. We can't use the mantra of you don't change a winning team anymore. Lost now. We've lost, and we've lost a couple recently. With respect to Manchester United and Chelsea, maybe just little tweaks, little changes. But we have signed a player. That's what we will say. Young Danish guy. Bear with me. His name escapes me with, again, really bad. Anyone got his name quick? Because I can't bother to type it in on Google. Tell me his name. Anyway, the last penalty we had was Man United away. There you go. How long ago was that? That was Antonio, obviously, with that, weren't it? But we have signed a player. Let me know his name in the chat and we'll talk about him. Noticed in some of the watch-alongs, though, after that one bad game, some of the fans were saying Moyes out and that we are heading for a relegation dogfight. Not Moyes out. I think Moyes has done a fantastic job. I think all it's been exposing, to be honest with you, mate, I'm sure a lot of people, I would say majority of the fan base, say that it's exposed the lack of depth and the lack of investment in the team. It's got nothing to do with Moyes, to be honest with it. He paid what he had to play. And the COVID thing, obviously, with the under 23s, enabling to have like the Ashbys, the Connor Coventrys, some of the other young lads in there on the bench. So that's why Martin and Randolph were both on the bench on Monday night. So, yeah, all I think it does is expose our lack of depth. And I think Sullivan and Gold will address that in January. I really don't. I think we'll sign a couple of players, like this Alves guy. Thanks, Martin, for reminding me. Fredrik Alves, the Danish guy. I think he will be in under 23s. With hope he will go on and have a really good career with us in the future. But he's not someone who's going to step into that first 11 and make a big impact. I hope he does. I can't see that. And then you're constantly looking at the Josh Kings linked with that Slavia Prague striker as well. Is it Sima or something like that? We do need to thicken the squad up, but I also want players that can go straight in that first 11. The left wing back, the fact that we've had to change formation has definitely, caused us a bit of an issue with the Masuaku injury. So go and buy a left wing back or someone who you can develop into a left wing back. In terms of out the quarter, here's a question I'll put to you guys that are watching. Thank you for the 14 that are watching. What do you make on Diop? For me personally, I would willing to let Diop go. I think if a decent enough come in for him, and I'm talking 25 million plus, I think I would let Diop go. I think a few times I've seen him recently, he looks like Andy on ice out there. He's lost that monster impact he used to have when he first come. And I don't think Moyes really fancies him. I think the choice would fit, and as we've seen, I think Bob Wenner starts. I think if you're looking to raise some money to get some players in, I wouldn't be too, versed in rid of Diop. Let me know what you guys think. Just annoying with the under 23s game. Sorry, just annoying with the under 23s. The game was crying out for Holland. Hollah player, Hollah. I don't know whether I pronounced that right. would be like when Defoe come into side. It's true, mate. Hopefully, you know, COVID thing is only, what is it, like a 10-day isolation thing. So hopefully after Christmas, maybe Moyes will start blooding these teams players in. To that point that Mark made, I'm just going to flash that up again about the relegation thing. So in some respect, you know, if we did lose to Brighton and we did lose to Southampton, we are sort of pulled back into it. I think, you know, we've got a lot more than the teams below us that, you know, it wouldn't be, I don't think we'd be down there long. Really don't think we've got enough to, you know, we'll stay up this year. Do you know what I mean? I think that's more or less a gimme. I don't think we'll be going down, but I can understand how, you know, what could potentially have been a really good season, and I'm talking top 8 finish, you know, could stagnate out into a 15th if we were to lose a few games on the trot now. But I don't think that'd be the case. I think, you know, I think there's enough hard work and belief in that team that we won't. I think we're due to spank a team as well. I think, you know, at some point these chances are going to be going in. You know, against the Wolves and the Leicester, these chances were going in, and we just haven't had a game like that where they're all going in. We're getting the ones, and that's the first game we haven't scored in for ages, isn't it, on Monday night? So I think the team is going to get an hiding from us soon. Who that will be, I don't know. Probably will coincide with Antonio coming back fit. What about another question I'll put to you guys in the chat? What about Antonio and Hollah up front? Is that the only other chance you see for Hollah given a chance to play with Antonio again? Let me know what you guys think. Richie Von Rock says, morning everyone, morning to you, mate. So after that is the Southampton game. Tough game, like I say. I've just got to sort of wrap it up sort of towards the end of the year there, just sort of give it a few games. Wolf Van Price is one of my favourite players. I think his set pieces are, you know, a second to none, really, barring, you know, someone like Trent, probably, you know, for that set piece delivery. He's just incredible. Ings is fantastically, you know, always good for a goal. Their defence is very, very good. They've got a good manager there, you know, which was sort of like the young Klopp, and that sort of, you know, vibe about him. It's a tough game. I'm not looking forward to that one at all. Yeah, we have to wait and see. Arrived in 66 says, would you give Anderson a second chance to prove himself? Look like he's messed up on loan to Porto. I was a big Anderson fan, massive when he came. I thought his first season he was excellent as well, and I was really willing him on last season. I was at the game when he got his only goal of the season against Bournemouth, and I was really happy for him because I thought he'd push on from then. You know, I thought that goal was, you know, something that was hanging over his shoulders that second season. It wasn't to be lazy in terms of his application. You know, you're going to do a step over. Step over. If you're going to do a pass, do a pass. Don't. It was sort of as if he was doing everything 50% pace. You know, I'm going to do this step over so it looks good. I'm not going to fully commit to that step over. I'm not going to fully commit to that. You know, that side roll pass. You know, would love nothing more for him to come back and be as good as he was that first season, but I just can't see it, mate. I really can't. I think if we can get rid of him for even half the money, if we can get 20 million for him, taking that money, sometimes you have got to take a loss to, you know, keep Rice, for example. You know, if you let Anderson go for 20, the chance that Hollah will go in the summer as well for sort of that 20, 25 million mark, 45 million in. I know we've lost some money. It's 45 million in to, you know, build some players around Rice if Rice was to stay in the summer. You know, keep him there. You know, if Rice is to sign a new contract, someone made a really good point about this, is that contract would have to be iron tight for him. It's his decision at the end, but it's not a point of loyalty or anything like that. I think he would be willing to stay to at least sort of 24, 25. I think he'd be at least willing to stay till that sort of age. We've got to say, okay, you sign this contract, you get the captaincy. We're going to spend 70, 80 million, you know, on two decent players, two 40 million pound players that will go straight into that first team, you know, take us slight next level. And that, for me, that means selling Anderson and selling Diop and selling Haller, who clearly are not always his fits, for him to be able to get players that support Rice, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Let me know what you guys think on that. Andy Miles says Diop is still young. I think he's still recovering from one and COVID situation. For me, I've said it since the summer. Watkins got away. Adam Armstrong for me now. Yeah, mate, I'm with you with that. 100%. I think Ollie Watkins would have been a fantastic signing. And, I think we should have gone all that. Got one, Ben Rahman. I think if we would have got Ollie Watkins as well as a partnership, I think, looking at a really decent two players there that would have gone straight in. And, really pushed our team that extra. And you could see from that Eze, the Crystal Palace game, you could see that he's slightly more ready than Ben Rahman. Rahman, no doubt, he's a wonderful, skillful, talented player. You could tell that Eze was, he's a bit stronger. He's a bit more muscle ready for the Prem. And, you could see why Moyes probably did want him potentially over Ben Rahman. But, let's not cry over spilled milk. Because I'm a Ben Rahman fan. But to Adam Armstrong, yeah, mate, I think this is an opportunity. If they want to really push the boat out, this is, when we signed Dean Ashton from Norwich, that sort of thing, go and get someone like that who can come in, make a big impact. I think Armstrong would be fantastic. And then potentially, he's a little bit older now, but he's a good player, and I think he would fit in our midfield. I think we could go and get Bradley Dack then as well, who links so well with Adam Armstrong. But I don't know whether you agree with me on the Bradley Dack thing. But Adam Armstrong, 100% mate with you. Richie Von Rock says, what do you think about Johnson playing at left back and pushing Cresswell further forward so he don't have to defend as much? Yeah. Or you could, why not try Johnson at left centre back? Why not try him where Cresswell was, then put Cresswell at left wing back? And so it's like Masuaku didn't have to do as much defending at left wing back. He could get forward. So maybe that would free Cresswell up a bit more and develop more of Johnson's defending game, because Johnson can definitely defend. He's shown he can defend, and he hasn't got that attacking, the prowess of the or Masuaku or the delivery of Cresswell. So maybe he could go to 5 with Johnson filling in at that left centre back role. Cresswell was playing. Who knows, mate? Let me know. Wife says, agree with you on Anderson. Sad story. I would give him a chance. Also, a shop window for us to sell him. Yeah, I suppose there is that argument. If you get him in and and he thinks, okay, I'll play a bit and try to get a move, maybe get a goal, a couple of assists, you might start looking at him again. I think he's fallen out of love. Look at it, he looks like he's sort of half fallen out of love with football as well. He doesn't look fit, he doesn't look hungry, and the stuff I read from Porto, that he just doesn't fancy it, So interesting one. Cool question. Nick, start one, bench one, sell one. You've named 3 fantastic players there, mate. All Aussies. Do Harry Gill or Tim Cahill? Ooh. Can we say that in their prime? Yeah. So these 3 players are in their prime. I liked all 3 of these players in their prime as well. Mark Viduka at Leeds was just unreal, sensational player. I remember 4 goals against Liverpool. Just absolutely sensational. Beast of a player as well. Another one you're talking about can create his own chances. He was up there. Harry Kill, undoubtedly one of special player when he was a youngster. Just unfortunately, so many injuries killed him in the end. Tim Cahill, great in the air. Millwall link though. Okay, right. So in prime, and for what we need now. I'm talking as if I'm West Ham manager now, not just me in dream scenario. I would start Mark Viduka. He would come in for Haller, 100,000,000%. Q would get on my bench, because he offers that technical ability and skill for when he, prime Harry Kill. And Cahill sadly would be the one I sell it. And that's not disrespect to Cahill, because I was a massive fan of him. Very good in the air, fantastic for Everton when it was him, Arteta, Pinar, when they had that really good side, Kevin Morales. But yeah, Viduka starts for me. Andy Miles, we could offer a couple of our under-23s on loan business on both sides. I agree with Bradley, a great talent, another energy. We lack in the middle. Yeah, attacking as well with Bradley back. And I think he would come as well. I think he would come. You know that Birdie's with, I think she's from Essex. I know she from the show that my missus watches. She's gone up there, hasn't she, to live there. So I think if there was an opportunity to come back to Essex and live in Essex, I think he would take that opportunity. I do think Moyes likes them championship, those English championship players that, you know, a bit about them. You know, there's a bit of steel about them. Andy Miles says, agree with the three. I'm going to go for about another sort of 10, 15 minutes, guys. What else is there to talk about in terms of West Ham? I suppose we could keep talking about who do we want to sign. I think, you know, dream scenario world, we'd be signing about 4 players. Would be left-sided defender, midfielder, striker. I don't know what else could we sign. Be another midfielder, and you know, another sort of creative attacking central midfielder. But I mean, I want Benrahma in there. I want Benrahma to start on the left-hand side. Obviously, Fornals keeps taking that place up in a minute. Who's your hammer of the year? January to now? Good question. It's very easy to say Declan. It's very easy because Declan is so good. You know, out of 10 performances minimum every week. You know, and you can see what a player he's going to be as he progresses and gets older. There's a shout for quite a bit actually from January. You know, I'm just going to throw some honourable ones in there. You know, you've got Souček came in and just offered us exactly what we needed at that time. You know, we've been crying for a player like him. You know, like a Chiatti style of player. You know, box to box, energy, a few goals here and there. Got some important goals. In terms of us staying up. Owen has been fantastic. You know, he does need some goals. He's becoming slightly frustrating for me. I can't deny his work rate and his effort and his endeavour on the game. You know, there's 3 straight away: Rice, Souček, and Bowen. I'm sorry, my vote for Hammer of the Year back in, you know, the season did end. What was it, July? And I think he's been immense for the last couple of years. He's been, you know, he's just been absolutely immense. He really has. You know, one-off bad game the other day against Crystal Palace where he got bullied a little bit by Benteke. Apart from that, you know, last 2 years he has really shown why he was a Juventus centre-back and why at times, you know, he has been considered the Italy squad. You know, Italy don't pick mugs in defence at the end of the day. You know, the Italy team's been quite weak since, you know, they won the World Cup. Was it about 10, 12 years ago now? There's one thing that Italy that doesn't change is their centre-backs. You know, when you say Italian centre-back, it's the hallmark, you know, Chiellini, Navarro, Nesta, Maldini's, you know, to name a few, Brazy. If you're getting in that Italy team as a centre-back, you know, you're decent. I mean, they don't pick crap. So for me, yeah, it has been a hammer of the calendar year, should we say. I don't think we'll have any money to sign anyone. We'll probably get some loans in. Yeah, I can see we've already got 1 loan. Are you allowed 2 loans, is it? So we may get 1 on loan. And then obviously maybe 2 cheapy ones. Obviously we've got the young boy in yesterday, didn't we, the Alves. It's tough. I do like transfer window season, but it's also really frustrating. And you know what my fear is with Rice in terms of if he signs a new contract. He may do. I think there'll be loads of broken promises in there. I think it will be I think it'll be a case of, yeah, come on, we're gonna pay all these players for you. We're gonna try it, and you know, put the bids in like we did for Lacazette, like we did for Bacca. And then what will happen is David Sullivan will do himself thinking, oh God, I've actually got to part with 40, 50 million pounds for a player. We better make up something quick. Found a medical. We pay over 70, 100 months or whatever. We pay £1 a year. And that's how they get out of it. That's where the frustration lies. Just went off topic there. Apologise. Andy Miles says Oggy for me. Thanks, Andy. Nick Kramer says, my opinion, Viduka is so underrated. How he was best Aussie footballer ever, in my opinion. Goal was good. Sadly, never fit. Yeah, what a player though. What a player. He's got some great goals. I think there was a goal against Sheffield Wednesday where he sort of scooped outside of his boot and looped it. Wonderful. And Carroll for this side. How we want to play elite header and worker. Definitely, mate. Viduka, I'm a massive fan, mate. You don't have to sell Viduka to me, mate. Be a player. Souček, such a quality player. Wouldn't be surprised if the team comes in for him in January. Unfortunately, yeah, obviously there is the Bayern Munich links, and he sort of half come out himself, didn't he, and said, I will be looking for another club one day. I like that though. I like that. It shows. I don't want a player to. I want a player to come and stay at West Ham and be good at West Ham. I don't want a player to come and rest on their laurels at West Ham. For example, a Anderson, for example. They're happy to come in, cut their paycheck, go home. They don't care about the career progression. If Souček gets a move to Bayern Munich, that means he's played fantastically for West Ham, which today he has. If someone like Bayern Munich's coming in for your players, if we were to sell Souček for 30, I think you could get 30, maybe push it to 35 million. You've doubled your money. That's good business. That is how a good football club. That's good scouting. That's good. That's good business. You can go and buy a 35 million player, replace him, and that's where you need to be. A good scouting setup would be okay. Thomas may go in the summer, but we need to be going and looking for the next Ndidi, next Corey, next Forfana, next Souček, so that you can keep repeating that business. That's what Leicester do. Leicester are a fantastically run football club. They knew probably Maguire was going. They knew Chilwell was probably going. They knew Mahrez was going. They knew certain players were going at certain times. Have you noticed the continuity of the team? Maguire went. Bayunku coming. Fantastic. Chilwell went. Brought that player in. Fofana's coming. Fantastic. Mahrez went. Mahrez come in. Ante went. Tielemans coming with Maddison. Indeed, they're constantly scouting, know when they're selling, they don't sell on the cheap, they're very stubborn, and we could take a lot out of their book. Now, if Souček and Rice are to go together there collectively, if you're going by my figures, Rice is worth 80 million, Souček 30 million, £110 million, with only an 18 million payout for the Souček. Obviously, Rice was free because he was a kid. So, 110 million potentially, not that I want to sell, but 110 million, if they were decent owners, would get you 3 amazing players that would go straight into the first team potentially. You're talking 3 £40 million players there, 30 to £40 million players if you put that little bit extra in yourself as well. Let me know what you think. Morning, Luke. We've got 2 in my opinion, Rama and Dawson. So Dawson will. Oh yes, Dawson is alone, isn't he? Yeah, I forgot about that, Chris. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe with this young boy coming in now, Alves, and keeping Diop, I suppose now. Yeah, maybe Dawson will go back. Yeah, I completely forgot about that, Chris. Andy Miles says, if you could buy one from each side from the bottom 3, who would you buy? For me, it's Fulham and Guinsa, Mitrovic, West Brom, Sam Johnson, good goalie, Sheffield Wednesday, John. I can't say I know too much about these clubs, but I'll try. Fulham, I really like their goalkeeper, actually. I think he's a really, really good goalie. Really strong. He looked fantastic against us. I like Lookman as well. I think he's a bit raw. A lot of potential there for him. West Brom, I'd get Diagana back, I think. I think Grady is what would be really good for us, pace, energy. There's one thing that we do like. Those wingers work hard. Rama, Cornels, work hard, ain't got no blister in place, and that's one thing that Grady would offer is blister in place. Sheffield United, yeah, I think I'll go the same, mate. I like that Delec, John Delec, whatever you pronounce it. Good player, solid player. Sufal, good business too. The looks of it, can't say the same for Hallet. Yeah, Sufal, £5 million. I agree with the comparisons with Zabaleta. You know, he just that's what he got to do. No overplan, no like trying to be something he's not. You know, he knows he's not Brent. You know, he knows he's not Jordi Alba and as like that. He is just, I'm here. I'm going to defend. I'm going to try and get forward when I can. Only criticism I have of him, his crosses are sometimes, you know, they're a little bit wayward. Something that he needs to work on in the training ground. But you can't deny effort. He deals so well with some players. You know, Zaha in his pocket on his debut. Was it against Leicester? Wasn't it his debut? Fantastic. You know, he knows what he's doing. He's a wily old. Do you know what I mean? Something we've been needing a long time. A decent right back. You know, you think of the right back. Barring Zabaleta that 1 year, who was good that first year. You know, Sammy Byram, Fredericks. Like we've had some terrible right backs over the years. It's nice to actually have a right back that looks good there. You know, if anything, a left back needed would provide really good balance for us. Fullbacks are really expensive positions now. Them and goalkeepers are one of the ones that are most them and strikers. Sorry, you know, they're really expensive positions because the fullbacks offer so much more now than what they did a few years ago. Sorry, Neil, I just skipped past your comment there. Neil, hi from South Australia. It's 9:13. Hey, mate. His name should be Zabikazab. Repka. Into one. Yeah, Repka, what player? One of Paul's dad, for any of you who have seen the channel. Paul, we always used to wind him up at school that Repka was his dad because Paul used to have a really like sort of harsh haircut like Repka. And really like solid, and he had them eyebrows like that Repka, you know, that really like sort of Eastern European eyebrow look. Yeah, to say that he was Paul's dad. Chris Harris says, completely agree about the 110 million, mate. However, it still has to be spent correctly. 45 million players, not necessarily squad. Hollah is a good example. Yeah, you know, it guarantees nothing. You know, we could have gone and got Ollie Watkins. What did he cost? Was it 20, 25 million Villa paid for him? What an impact he could have made over a 45 million pound Hollah. Just because you spend the money doesn't necessarily mean it. As you says, there needs to be excellently scattered. As you know, I trust Moyes with that. Trust Moyes' team with that as well. I think if Moyes was given the same level of backing as Pellegrini, I think we would have been a better team. I really do, and I will go out on a whim and say that. You can quote me, you can put that on Twitter, and it might come back to bite me in a few years' time. I think, yeah, if David Moyes would have been given 100 million to spend, we would be in a better place as a team. I'm not saying we'd be playing pretty football. I'm not saying we'd be playing attractive football. I think we're a lot better consistency, like we're seeing, you know, how he's developed the team. And yeah, and I think, you know, we're a real tough team to beat, like how the old Everton was. And I think with time and with decent backing, I think Moyes could take us to where he took Everton. You know, I think he could consistently get us to be a top 7, top 8 team. But is he going to get that backing with Sullivan? I don't think so. And then the question marks are asked. You know, X sort of teased it a little bit about the takeover again. You know how, you know, there's some sort of flirty rumours again, but no one's had for funds. If we were to get taken over, would they fancy Moyes? And you're thinking, oh, look, let's say, for example, Saudi Arabians that were going to take over Newcastle and took us over. They may think, okay, we need a sexy manager. And sexy manager, it's these, you know, luxury players in and not quite world-class ones. You know, like an Anderson, for example. Anderson, with a big reputation. Man United were looking at him at the time. And it doesn't work because it's not suited our system. Where I would rather, if the Saudis were to come in, I'd rather keep Moyes be given the 200 million or whatever, for him to build what he wants to build. And I think we would be a better team. Let me know what you guys think. That's a really controversial decision, went from me. I think Moyes with 200 million, 100 million, do a job than what Pellegrini did with that 100 million. Let me know what you guys think. Our number one target should be Steve Walsh, the head scout at Leicester. 100%, mate. You know, you've seen it, mate. I don't know if you joined just recently to this video. I can't have nothing but praise for Leicester. The way that club is run, the way they do their scouting, look at their training ground. That training ground, the pictures were all floating over Twitter yesterday. It's a real football club, you know. It's a club you would look at as a player and go, these boys are serious. They're serious. They're looking really progress and try and hit those heights of the top 5, top 6 teams and really break in there and stay in there. Look at Arsenal. Arsenal are a million miles away from that at the minute. You know, and if they lose their next 2 games, Arsenal, they're miles away. Look at Leicester. Look at Everton. Wolves trying at least. They're trying. It's all I can ask for West Ham, the owners, to try and foul. I can respect that. I can take that. But if you don't try and you then start coming up with excuses that, oh, it's this, it's that, it's this and that, I can't, you know, we'll always be GSB out. But if they want to buy any hint of a legacy, try. I think we need a left back with a right foot. Yeah. Don't mind Pochettino if we got taken up. Yeah, that's one I would allow you there, mate. If we're talking sexy managers, and not just the way he looks. No, I'm joking. Yeah, Poch would obviously, you know, Poch is the most wanted entity out there, you know, and Poch is sitting there biding his time. You know, will he get the Arsenal job? Or will he get the Man United job? You know, will he get the Chelsea job? Will he get the Real Madrid job? You know, he's going to be first on the list for most of those big jobs. Maybe West Ham is just not there. I don't know. You know, Poch seems the type of guy that likes a project. You know, like he would like to come in and change some things. But yeah, I'm going to go for about another 10 minutes, guys, because we may be back later. I think Moyes should be given at least 3-year extension so he can really have something to build for the future, and at the same time, some much desired stability to West Ham as a team and as a club. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Neil, mate. Yes, there may be some rough and smooth with Moyes. You know, I'm not expecting, you know, him to pull up trees, but he will give us stability. It will make us harder to beat, and I think he can has to consistently stay in the league and, you know, without the fear of relegation. It's something we may need. You know, it's something we might need. You know, a sort of 3 to 5 year where same managers just stays there. Stay with him through the rough and smooth, and he will build up. You know, we've seen Moyes through the rough. He's kept us up twice in these 2 spells. He's, you know, put us in a good position. And a couple of results that ain't our way. Maybe some selection issues. But is that down to squad depth more than anything? So Andy Miles says Moyes is doing something right. He's got the team spirit, and apparently he works 12-hour days and does a lot of his work himself. And is it 12-hour days for 70 grand a week or whatever he's on? I'd work 24 hours if you want to pay me 70 grand a week. But no, I'm joking. I'm joking. Agree, Lou. Moyes needs money. I can see he is trying to build an identity, a philosophy, and a vision which is necessary for success. But owners just need to understand this, which is doubtful. Yeah, I think they have to take away their fear a little bit. Owners, you know, I don't like them. Okay, you know, anyone who's had their fingers burnt by ad spending of Pellegrini, you know, and it is terrible spending. You know, you put Hollah and Anderson together, is that about 75, 80 million, whatever it is. Now you could probably only get 40 million back, so it's like up the price half. You can understand the fear, you know, of that. I think they need to give some trust to Dave. You know, I'm not saying in January either, you know, it's you know, renowned, you know, that the January transfer market is a hard market to buy in. It's much fluctuated the prices. If he gets us a solid top half finish, you know, and I'm talking anywhere from 10th up, you know, go in the summer, go again, go big and as well. Get the wood out. That sounds terrible. Get the wood out. Haller out. Get Anderson out. Get any of these like players that are squaddy, you know, come out. Reinvest heavily. Give him a go. Please, just give him a chance. You know, he's plucked some great players out through his career, Moyes. You know, Pinar, Morales, Cahill, Terry out of nowhere, didn't he? Haynes from Wigan, Coleman, players like that. So give him a go, please. This is doing very well without the backing of the Muppets. Yeah, that's all we can say, mate. You've got to give the man, and I'll tell you what, he's built himself some much needed credit points, in terms of his stature in the game again now. People will be looking at him going, yeah, he's good. He's really good. Chris says, why is not for me, the new owners? Someone like Tuchel, good shout. A young, I suppose I think you was meant to write there, hungry manager, already tested. Like Moyes, but I'm not convinced he's Champions League manager, unfortunately. Pochettino is a great shout. Yeah, Pochettino would be great. Tuchel was also a really good manager, destined for bigger things. Like I say, with you say there, Moyes is, I'm not convinced he's a Champions League manager. I agree. With Everton, he qualified, didn't they? They got to the qualifying stage and they got knocked out, and then they got knocked out the next round. In terms of Champions League, mate, what sort of time frame do you give us to get there? I'm not convinced we get there unless it was like a 5-year project, and there was like a real end game to it. Like, okay, for 5 years we're going to do this. We're going to completely change all the philosophy and all the backroom, way the club works. You don't become a Champions League team overnight unless you're Man City or you get a massive takeover. I'm looking forward to Moyes and seeing what he does. I'd love us to have a good cup run, maybe qualify for the Europa League, through the back door. And I'm not even saying this year. I'm saying maybe next year. I think we need a few years in the Europa League before we can even think of the dream scenario of Champions League football. I hope it's my one of my life wishes is to see West Ham playing the Champions League one day. It's one of those bucket lists, to say senior team playing the Champions League. And hopefully, I'm 36 in a month's time. So hopefully. So Andy says, back to work, mate. If I don't speak to you, have a good Christmas. You too, mate. We will be back later, hopefully, because Paul said he might do a show with me later. So let you know. Chris Evans says, so he's changed the subject entirely, mate. I can't understand Man United sticking by Ollie when Pochettino sat there stating he's ready to go back to work. Fear back to United. I agree. The thing is, mate, with Ollie, we discuss it quite a lot in work. So I work with some United fans, I work with Liverpool fans, they constantly go at each other. With Ollie, third. They've won how many away games in a row? Like, you can't discredit that. Where they're sitting now, you'd bite your hand off as a West Ham fan to be sitting third in the league where they are. And there are question marks around him. But I do think with Ollie, if I'm looking at what he's got against him, there's players in there that don't fancy it. I think there's a lot of passengers in there. But I don't think he'll be there much longer. They're third in the league. Third in the league. So young, Luke. I turn 70 tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday, Neil. Happy birthday, mate. Happy 70th birthday to you, mate. May you live another 30. May you live forever, mate. I'd love you to reach 100, mate, and still be watching this show when I'm like, I'll be 70 then, won't I? But if you live the 30 years to 100, what will I be? Yeah, I'll be 72 then. Pushizi says hi, everyone. Neil says hi, Fo. And hey. We'll wrap it up there, guys. Unless you've got any questions, I'll tell you what, 5 minutes, ask me anything, and I'm going to wrap it up because we may be back about 1-2 o'clock if Paul wants to do a show. But it's really good to be back. I really feel bad when I don't do a video. We didn't do a video for nearly a week and a half, but honestly, guys, I'll tell you now, I felt awful. Really, I felt awful last few days. Like, just didn't really move. Really felt heavy body, like really like fluey symptoms. And I didn't think it was fair to come on camera, and I didn't feel too well. But yeah, we're back, and I'm glad I am. 566. Have you heard any more about the potential Super League with the top 4 and 6 breaking away. It would make the FA Cup a lot more interesting as it would for the Premier League. Let them do it. Don't let them come back if it fails. That's what I've always said about these situations with the Super Leagues and the Super Europa Leagues or whatever they want to call it. Let them do it. If it all fails, don't let them come back. You know, and you go and do that. You go and do what you want. You see if your fans want to travel every weekend to Spain, to Italy. You know, it's all good as a pipe dream. Telling me season ticket holders and these people that go and see their team away, coming away every week, afford to go to, like I say, Spain, Italy, France, Portugal. Let them do it. Don't let them come back. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Neil. Neil says it's a deal. Morning, folk. Cheers. Any more questions, guys? Quick. Last chance. Last chance. Ask me anything. Who would you like to sign in January? Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, and Mbappe. No, I'm joking. I don't know. Adam Armstrong. Chris said it a little bit earlier. Adam Armstrong would, I think, should be the #1 target for striker-wise and realistic striker-wise if we wanted to push the boat out a bit. I'm not adverse to Giroud either. You know, there are some rumours about Giroud. Would have Giroud, I really would. Would have Tomori on loan as well. I don't think Tomori will come now because of the Alves one. Yeah, I think push the boat out a little bit and go and get Adam Armstrong for me, mate. She says, I would let big teams back. They have to start in the last league. Yeah, do that to them. That's even better, mate. That's even better than my idea. They can come back. You've got to go all the way down. Yeah, that's what I don't like. It's the arrogance of it. It's the we can go. We're the top 6 teams. We can go. The Premier League won't last without us. Who then? Oh, Premier League will continue. It'll be nice if they did go. West Ham might have a chance to win the league then. Oh, we'll go. See you later. I don't understand why Arsenal haven't replaced Arteta with Poch yet. I don't think Poch would want that job. A bit of a poison chalice job. It's like the Leeds job a few years ago. You know, when Leeds were really bad, a Newcastle job. It's like that sort of job. I wouldn't want to be going anywhere near Arsenal if I was Poch. All right, last couple of questions. What's your go-to Christmas film? Now, a lot of people don't like this film, but this is without a doubt my favourite Christmas film. It's Scrooged with Bill Murray. I'm a massive Ghostbusters fan. Ghostbusters is probably, you know, and Back to the Future are probably my favourite films in terms of childhood. I'm not saying they're the greatest films ever made. They're my favourite films. You know, the greatest films ever made are the Fellas and all that stuff. But yeah, Scrooge for me is my Christmas film. I haven't watched it yet because my missus doesn't like it. I will watch it. It's one of those films I have to watch every year. Absolutely love it. I've watched all the others, like your Home Alones. You have to watch Home Alone, probably the best kids film ever made, and probably one of the best Christmas films ever made. I quite like Muppets Christmas Carol as well because I used to love watching that as a kid. Yeah, Scrooged for me. Murray is my favourite Christmas film. Absolutely, folk. Maybe he wouldn't go there because of the Spurs link. What position will we finish, Luke? I think anywhere, knowing injuries, anywhere between 8th and 12th. I think anywhere between 8th and 12th. And if if you've got a gun to my head, I'd say 9th. I think we'll finish 9th, and I'll be very happy with that. Really happy with that. Spursy didn't show him any loyalty, to be fair, because I loved it when Spurs lost the other night. Love it. I love it. I love it when they lose. Love it. Poch would love to be our manager just to do the double O for them. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Right, I'm wrapping up now, guys. Merry Christmas, Luke. If I don't see you before, thanks for all the product throughout the year. Been so far away, it's very much appreciated. Cheers, Neil, mate. Really appreciate your comments. How many players will we sign in January? Anywhere between 2 and 4. We've already signed 1. We'd only have to sign another 3 more. I'm done. Home Alone, Die Hard so far. Great films, mate. Home Alone and Die Hard. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Yeah, we'll be back after the Brighton game. I'll try and like a video in between me eating my Christmas dinner and playing on my PS5. Until then, come on, you irons. You believing? Oh, there's one more comment, I believe. Have a great Crimbo, everyone. Yep, you too, mate. Yeah, I'll wrap it up there, guys. Come on, you irons. You leaving?